WWE are reportedly undecided on how to book Roman Reigns' run as Undisputed Champion. Adam Scherr, formerly known of course as Braun Strowman, has strongly criticised Tony Khan, and Bret Hart has responded to the praise heaped upon him by CM Punk and FTR. More on that later on. Yes, we're back with more news. If you didn't see our earlier news video, of course, check that out on this very channel as well. But we're starting off with news from Andrew Zarian of the Mat Men podcast on Roman Reigns and how WWE are going to book his title run.
How are they going to book his title run?
They don't know. Andrew Zarian said, as far as I know, and this is something I was told, it hasn't been decided yet on how they're doing this, like the concept of how they're going to do this unified title thing. I don't think they've decided if he's going to be on Raw every week or every other week. It hasn't been set yet. They're working all this out right now on how they're going to play this out.
Surely it's an obvious thing to do, isn't it? And a refreshing thing to do, because we haven't seen it done for like 20 odd years or whatever. You create a new title, unifying both the Universal and WWE Championships. You then have Reigns sort of have a feud with someone on SmackDown, then a feud if he wins that one with someone on Raw, and then on SmackDown, maybe someone on Raw, someone else on Raw. Just have him be a floating champion between the shows, appearing on whatever show his feud is on. Does that not make the most sense?
I think it would make the most sense. Yeah. I wonder if like the demands of the two networks that Raw and SmackDown are on maybe play a part. Like, well, we want Roman, no, we don't.
There was a lot of stuff about Fox, wasn't there? Like right at the start of SmackDown being on Fox, like we want this person because he is very good.
Though especially, I think Lesnar was a big name that they floated at the time. But yeah, it's a strange one. You'd think it's in massive contrast to how one of the things that the rise of AEW's done is like show contrast in styles of booking, because AEW do the old-fashioned way of starting at the end point and working back from there and then building. Whereas WWE often like to fly a bit more by the seat of their pants.
How exciting.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Both great in their own way.
Absolutely, yes.
We stand for AEW and WWE here.
We do. We just stand for fun. Just good wrestling fun. But yeah, it's a strange one because I thought with Roman, he was one of the few things in WWE that was like consistent, and they seem to have a plan with him, and they seem confident in their booking of him. But this from Andrew Zarian seems a little bit less certain. One thing I will say is that it probably doesn't seem like he's going to lose it anytime soon if they're not sure how to book him going forwards. It seems to imply that he's going to keep it for a long time.
I don't even think they know who he's going to lose it to, which you would assume they might know by now, considering he's held it for over nearly 600 days, isn't it, at this point?
Yeah, I don't know who he's going to lose it to. I mean, Cody might have emerged as a potential contender, but not yet, not straight away. I mean, it would be big. I really don't know.
Yeah,
we've said before Braun Breaker if he holds it that long for them to build up Braun, but we'll just have to wait.
That's the obvious
see.
one for me. But outside of Braun, who else are you looking at? It is Cody.
Yeah, I don't know who else is on the level where Vince.
After WrestleMania, such a strong show.
I even feel people who might have been contenders in the past, like Drew or Lashley, it would seem weird now.
Yeah,
because he's overcame like multi-man matches and Lesnar, and it just feels a bit weird if it was something like that. Pat, I would love it if Pat.
There's the answer.
Yes. Moving on now to so The Rock obviously bought the XFL, which kind of I forgot all about that because he's obviously developing it for the future, but it's coming. The future's nearly here because The Rock and the XFL recently revealed a new logo on Instagram and kind of a new mission statement about togetherness, and this is a league for the future, and we're all going to come together to create this magical pro football, American football league. But then he ran into a bit of a sticky legal situation because the company Together, which is spelt like the word together, but the last E is actually an X, it's Together XR. They've taken issue with this. According to Wrestling Inc., Together is a media and commerce company founded by Alex Morgan, Sue Bird, Chloe Kim, and Simone Manuel, that focuses on changing the way women are perceived in societal roles. This company started in 2015, and they weren't too happy, Ross, because the logos look similar.
Yeah, they took to Instagram as well, posting this following statement: "Too often the work and creativity of women is overlooked and undervalued. Diversity and equality are the norm around here. We are thrilled to see the XFL embrace inclusivity, but this rebrand ain't it. It ain't it. No. We issued a legal notice and we'll continue to protect the important work we're doing," and I guess fair enough.
I do have to say that having looked at both the logos, they do look similar, but it's one of those ones where I think there's only so many ways you can style an X. It could have been an accident.
And I'm sure I've read somewhere that the XFL is maybe going to be like a feeder system to the NFL. That's how they were going to sort of rebrand it. Okay. I don't know if I was right or wrong there. I don't know anything about American football. So you would assume if they become this official, kind of unofficial feeder system to the NFL, they'll become so big that people will think Together, spelt with an X, actually copied the XFL when it's the other way around, because that's how.
And you don't want that. I understand totally where they're coming from, especially because they were founded in 2015. Yeah, it makes sense. It seems like one of those things where it'll probably be resolved amicably. I don't know. I'm just guessing that The Rock might actually be a hard ass, and he might go, nah, I'm not changing it.
I hope not.
No,
he
I
seems
hope
like
not
a
as well.
nice man.
He does. And
There's one thing for sure though, Jack, and that is up the Seattle Dragons.
No, up the
Dragons.
Dallas Renegades was my team. Up the Renegades. Come on. Renegades till I die. This is my favourite news story of all. This next one. Braun Strowman shoots, I've put here, on Tony Khan. So Adam Scherr, formerly known, of course, as WWE's Braun Strowman, he's part of Control Your Narrative with Ethan Page.
What's Control Your Narrative, Jack?
Not Ethan Page, sorry. Ethan Carter and the lads.
Yeah. Try and sum up CYN in one sentence, I dare you.
It's it's more of like a...
It's a bunch of really cool guys, right?
They're so
who
manly.
used to work for those 3-letter companies, those big corporate
Yeah.
things. Then they went on their own. They went rogue and created their own 3-letter brand. But in that 3-letter brand, you control your own narrative while abiding by a certain set of rules, like no super kicks. And stuff.
Yeah.
But it's okay because EC3 knows he's being ironic in what he's doing. He knows that.
Is he backtracking slightly after all the
he's-
criticism? Well, but anyway, Adam Scherr is very much a part of Control Your Narrative and chimed in on Tony Khan, basically, because after his whole bots comment over the weekend, which caused a lot of uproar.
Was Tony Khan taking the piss there?
No, I think he was telling the truth.
That's a real shame.
But it got mocked by a lot of people, including the Instagram page Burying Smarks _
They sound cool.
Yeah, and they were mocking Tony Khan's post, basically. And then underneath, Adam Scherr himself commented saying, this is the same guy that pays the dirt sheets. Whoa, first claim there, pays the dirt sheets.
First and foremost, if he does, that's the actual shame, because we make a joke on the Cultaholic Wrestling podcast that we do get paid a $5 a week by Tony
$5
Khan,
a week.
but that's never actually happened. So if Tony Khan is paying some certain people, we want our money.
I can't. Do you think he'd do that? That
Yeah.
would be him trying to control his narrative in a way. and that should be something that Adam Scherr is in favour of, really.
Yeah.
But he said, this is the same guy that pays the dirt sheets and says his wrestlers are free to do whatever, but blackballed them from Control Your Narrative shows. Why? Because we're a freaking, he didn't say that, because we're a freaking threat.
To people's health with anti-vax people and stuff
Yeah,
like that,
yes.
I assume, yeah. Because I don't know what
Yes.
other kind of threat he could mean, because CON's not a threat to AEW.
It's not a threat
is
to
it?
AEW,
I don't know
yeah.
what it's a threat to, but they're doing their own thing. It's the Fight Club style. I don't know. Yeah.
Their whole branding confuses me a lot.
Control your narrative, but abide by our rules. Therefore, don't control your narrative. Play by our narrative.
Don't do any stupid kicks.
Control
ever.
your chicken with our spices.
Oh.
Put your Brussels sprouts in our spices. Control your nutrition.
Oh, right, I see.
All that sort of stuff.
Um,
It's a shame because Adam Scherr, we should be celebrating this weekend, because dear editor put a picture up there. He went to Alexa Bliss's wedding, which we'll get onto later on, but he went wearing a tight Under Armour shirt in a pink colour and some pink Crocs.
Yeah.
There should be a cause for celebration for Braun Strowman / Adam Scherr, but here we are speaking about some silly comments.
We'll get on to Alexa Bliss's wedding a little bit later on, but first we've got to talk about Bret Hart, because he's been getting mentioned a lot by mainly AEW wrestlers, mainly CM Punk, who I don't think it's been much of a secret that he's drawn a lot of inspiration from Bret Hart in his current grizzled older man run
He's
in
literally
AEW.
just copying spots from Bret Hart's
Now and
big
then.
matches.
Now and then. It's working a lot.
It's every
really
big
good.
match, isn't it?
And FTR as well have been praising him, especially Dax Harwood, praising Bret Hart so much that it's led to speculation that, especially after they got rid of Tully Blanchard, that Bret could be coming in as their next manager.
They were cutting that promo with the Young Bucks, weren't they? Where the Bucks were like, you could have the best there is, the best there was, the best in your corner, and blah, 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 blah. There's been certain references dropped to Bret Hart, so it looks like potentially Bret Hart could be FTR's manager.
Well, he was a guest on the recent Dropkick podcast and was asked about the praise from these wrestlers and said, I appreciate them. It means a lot for me. It means a lot to me for them to be big fans of mine. I try to cheer them on as much as possible. I wish I could see them more often and be more of an input to helping them with their careers. I just want them to know I'll always be in their corner cheering them on.
You've missed a bit off the quote there, because I listened to this.
Oh,
interview.
sorry, go on.
Goldberg's rubbish, he finally finished with.
Is Bret there also fueling the speculation, or is he just genuinely being nice and saying, I wish I could see them more?
You would assume with the references on air, the AEW have reached out to Bret Hart and said, would you mind if we name drop you without name dropping you, if you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that potentially building to him being FTR and CM Punk's manager, maybe?
Do they need managers?
Well, Bret Hart's Bret Hart, isn't it? So being next to Bret Hart's only going to help you.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
just
yeah.
worry for Bret Hart's safety.
Yeah.
Because whenever Bret Hart appears on wrestling shows these days, something happens and it's always horrible.
Yeah.
We were at Double or Nothing in Las Vegas in 2019 when he fell off the stage. It was horrible to
Yeah.
watch. The Hall of Fame, obviously, as well, springs to mind recently.
Yep.
So if they bring him in, pray.
Yeah.
Pray for
Yeah.
his safety, but it's not going to harm them being associated with Bret Hart, I don't think.
That's fair enough. I just feel like you're right, but I just keep thinking, especially Dax Harwood is such a good promo as well.
Yeah.
But Brett wouldn't be the promo-y type of manager.
It could be like William Regal with the Blackpool
Right.
Combat Club, where he's not the he's not the mouthpiece.
Yeah.
Like your Dan Lambert is. As
He's the
Matthew would call
coach,
it.
like Arn Anderson.
Yeah, that sort of role would fit Bret Hart.
I
down
think
to
so.
a T.
And finally, yes, we mentioned it earlier. Alexa Bliss married her fiance, musician Ryan Cabrera, over the weekend, and various different wrestlers were in attendance. You mentioned Braun Strowman's Adam Scherr's interesting attire at the wedding.
Sensational.
It was. But also, one thing that stole the show, and it was shared on Twitter by @AllRedSupremacy, which I can only assume is a huge fan of Eva Marie. No, I think Eva Marie was the profile picture on that.
Hopefully.
Anyway.
Sounds like it could be anything.
It does. But they shared a video of The Miz and Nia Jax making just such a grand entrance.
I saw that the guy announcing the Miz was like, I spoke to this guy yesterday and he just finished telling me all the stuff that's good about him just now. And then down the Miz and Nia Jax come. Nia Jax is pushing the Miz over and then they're dancing and all sorts. I don't know what was going on.
So the Miz, I've got it. I'll break it down. The Miz comes out and he steals the show from Nia. He steps in front of her. He does his spin and his point like he does when he's making a wrestling entrance. Then she shoves him, which he sells like comedy, and then she dances down the aisle, and then he catches up and they both dance together. They both shrug and go, "Well, just be pals."
Was it a reference to Jim and Pam's wedding from The Office?
I've not seen The American Office.
Goodness me.
I know, yeah, I know. So that on that happy note, we'll end this news video. Thanks very much for watching, and leave your thoughts and opinions in that comment section down below, and stay tuned for updates on any of these stories as and when they occur. I've been Jack, this has been Ross, and we'll see you very soon.